Speak. What is it you require?
Hello everybody, this is Mithril Zenith, and I've been playing a little bit of Multiversus recently. The game is technically in open beta, though for all intents and purposes it is out. There's a battle pass, there's a cash shop, it's certainly playable. I don't know how much will actually change. So it looks like we have, so we have daily missions, a battle pass, all that fun stuff. I've been playing it a little bit. I'm not super invested into it right now. I'm actually very new. I've played for like 5 or 6 hours. I've done mostly 1v1s, a couple team matches. I'm not really a fan of team matches because it tends to be, if you get someone you match well with, it just, you stomp, otherwise you get stomped. Like there's some decent balance with it, but I don't know, I haven't necessarily grasped it yet. Anyway, let's play some matches and talk about some of my early thoughts.
I don't think you've ever met a woman like me.
I'm only playing this because when matches with tank class, even though I feel like Wonder Woman is very weak, I also just don't really know what I'm doing in general. Okay, so what are my credentials to be talking about this game? I've played a decent amount of Super Smash Bros. I'm not super competitive, though I did participate in some local level tournaments. Okay, we're fighting Batman, which means we're almost certainly going to lose horribly. Because what is balance? Oh, Batman is so overpowered. If you know what you're doing, it's just like, there's no way to fight against. Okay, I can't necessarily say that, but I can say I've never really beaten Batman in anything that didn't feel like they absolutely lost the match for themselves. So the game, first of all, it's all Warner Bros. IPs, which I don't really have that strong of a connection with. So, it doesn't necessarily win me on that. It doesn't necessarily lose me. It's interesting. Oh, that lovely netcode there. I think they may have completely DC'd. Yeah, as you can tell, this is not exactly perfect game. There we go, there's a win. Okay, I can't necessarily give the best commentary while I'm playing. As you can see, netcode is decent. Not always the best, but I'm also not super much a stickler for it. Feels a little rough around the edges, feels a little odd. I guess this person couldn't necessarily do much. Maybe controller issues, who knows. Always getting new rewards, always getting some sort of perk or some sort of battle pass progress or the like, first one of the day bonus and all that stuff. It's a free-to-play game. And I think that's probably the most rough part about the game, is that it is free-to-play, and it shows, like, okay, we need there's a premium battle pass requires premium currency. All of these characters you can unlock with gold. The game floods you in gold early on. Like, your first round of daily missions and everything give you gold. And then the game just stops. You get a little bit of gold for, like, for every match. You get, like, about 100 for your first one of the day. But then the game stops giving you gold through your missions, and it just gives you battle pass progress, which is not the best. And so, each character costs between 1,500, 2,000, or 3,000 to unlock. The good news is you can test characters and set AI bots as characters or fight whatever characters other people have without having to unlock them yourself. The bad news is you are basically forced to spend your gold to unlock them. For instance, there are only 2 mage characters in the game. Mage, they're character archetypes, Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry. They are both locked, and in order to unlock them, you need to pay gold. And Bugs is 2,000, and Tom and Jerry are 3,000. And so when you have missions that say, hey, play a mage character, these are only 2 options right now, and they're both locked behind, not necessarily a paywall, but a grind wall. You unlock perks for your characters over time, but these perks, because you unlock them as you play the character, and each character levels up separately, you don't really have access to a lot at the start. And so you have like 5 characters, 6 if you count Wonder Woman. Maybe, no, 5 if you count Wonder Woman, I think. Yeah. At base. Even though the tutorials are all with Shaggy, you don't actually get Shaggy as a base character. You have to pay for him, which feels bad. Yeah. One of my friends, I was playing this with my friends the other day because I was like, hey, it's free, let's check it out. And they were like, if they locked Mario behind a paywall, Mario being the default all-rounder that the tutorials used with, yes, they locked Shaggy behind a paywall. Have fun. I'm just going to jump into another match. Oops, that's not how I jump into another match. Controller button layout is a little bit awkward. Nothing you can't get used to.
What else do I need?
Actually, let's cancel. I need to play as a tank class.
We Amazons are the bridge to
So,
a greater understanding between
it's
all
fine.
people.
It's a fun game. It's decent. It's reasonable all around. Controls overall pretty well, though I will say the any sort of server ping will give you a pretty rough delay. The character moves actually have a lot more depth than you might think, than it seems at first glance, which means it can also be really awkward to learn characters and figure out what's going on. It's one of those games that definitely has a lot more depth than you would give it credit for. It definitely has a lot of love put into it. But you still have to call it what it is. It is a free-to-play Smash clone. It has its issues. I think being free-to-play and locking the most of the roster behind an effective paywall is probably the weakest thing about the game, because everyone wants to try out a lot of characters, but when all you can do is play with like the same 4 or 5 characters as everyone else, you might not even necessarily really have that much of a connection with. Like Superman, Wonder Woman, Finn from Adventure Time, Garnet from Steven Universe, and their OC, the Rain Dog. So that's what you have. That's what you got. And it's not... Oh. And when you use up all your jumps, it's not... Great.
It's my lucky rabbit's foot.
The game can feel very slow and awkward at times because it's like, okay, you only have... There's a lot of moves that require you to kind of stand and charge them. Aerial combat feels exceptionally floaty. Every character does play very differently, but unless you're actually good at fighting games, I think it can be hard to really tell. And I am decent-ish, but I wouldn't say I'm really good enough to have a great sense of what's going on, as you can tell in this horrible match. Yeah. Honestly, it is free, so it you know, if you're at all interested, it's worth taking a look at. But unless you really enjoy it and really want to commit to it, I don't think it's really going to be that much more than just kind of a passing curiosity, unfortunately. I got my friends to play who really enjoy Super Smash Bros. And they were really put off by the super limited roster. They were really put off by all the hoops you have to jump through in order to get, you know, characters you want to play. And ultimately, we played for maybe half an hour to an hour. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. When you have friends, if you're with one friend, you can queue up for 2v2s. And it can be pretty fun, pretty interesting. If you have more than one friend, you're stuck to custom games where you don't get any rewards. And custom games where you don't get any rewards, and you're just running through the same roster of pretty basic stages. In custom game free-for-alls, there are items, but the items are never explained, never really come up. And so it's really hard to, you know, it feels like the enjoyment wears thin very fast.
It's my lucky rabbit's foot.
By the might of Olympus!
Yeah, you can sometimes get the items if you're Bugs Bunny through your hold down and you get an item.
Swing, bada-bada.
Overall, it's fine. Nothing I'd really get too excited about, unfortunately. Which is kind of sad considering all the heart that you can clearly tell went into this game. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about it. It's, like I said, it's something fun to try if you're interested in the genre kind of in general, but it's unlikely to be your, you know, go-to game unless you're really a fan of some of the features that it has.
Point. Red team.
And I'll just let you
Need to remember that much.
watch me absolutely fail this match point.
Match point. Blue team.
That's gonna hurt in the morning. Take this.
So dumb.
By the goddess!
One thing, there are cooldowns in this game. You can see your cooldown meter, but your foes cannot. And so that's something to really keep note of. Like, for instance, Bugs will have, like, a rocket cooldown. He'll have cooldowns on his pies. He'll have his cooldown on pretty much all of his abilities. While I have my cooldown on my lasso and... lasso and shield. As a fully melee character outside of the lasso, it's very hard to really track down a character who does not want to engage. Definitely limitations. As you can see, we're just moving through each other so much.
Arms away. I'll just leave this here.
Yeah, that was bad. Anyway, thanks for watching my absolute misery of play. I don't know if you'll enjoy Multiverse. I'm probably not going to put any more videos out on it.
What's that?
But
On
hope you
point,
enjoyed
say.
my opinions on
Happy
it,
to oblige.
and hope you have a good rest of your day. This is Mr. Zenith signing out.